supposed to. The fact of the matter is that what we really need to have accounted for as a polity is the following. Number one, how much money exactly was sent to Ukraine? First off, why? Can we get an explanation on that? But how much money was sent? Is Ukraine going to repay that debt? Because we supposedly give loans to Israel, but they never repay them. They're forgiven, or it's grants. Come on now. So is Ukraine going to pay us back? Oh, yeah. And is Israel going to pay us back? Then furthermore, when you say America has the mineral rights, well, the American government is not a corporation. It is not a business formally, which is to say, if the United States is not a mineral drilling corporation, well, then who's going to get access to those minerals? And how does the taxpayer benefit by the fact that it was our tax money that was used to open up that market opportunity? And again, you see how brilliant I am. In the past, I've told you that your government does not exist to do what governments are supposed to do, which are to say basic services, bridges, roads, public schools, things like this. But instead, it's operating as a vicious tool of capitalism to open up markets, which would be fine if they brought the booty back home, which is to say, when the Romans would send out their armies and they would, destroy other nations and they would take the spoils of war, maybe they spread it amongst the empire a little bit. But you take our tax dollars, wage endless warfare, open up markets. You let Caterpillar Corporation get rich. You let Boeing get rich. You let all these corporations get rich in the political class. But we who create the opportunity, you give us nothing back. Come on now. You don't even give us lower gas prices half the time. It's wild. So the real question is, who gets those mineral rights? Which corporations? Come on now. Now, those of you who follow me, follow someone who has guided you effectively over time. I told you early on, I said, this is what you need to invest in if you'd like to be a part of the victory. You're a part of the loss. If you pay taxes in this country, you're a part of the loss. But can you be a part of the victory? I told you guys a long time ago. Trump is going to drill, invest in these oil businesses, invest in the mineral businesses. I already did that. Invest in steel. If we go to war, we're going to need some things like this. Heavy industry. Invest in defense industry. I already told you this. We're making money when the economy is on the downturn, and we're making money when Wall Street is suffering. Come on now. I've still been selling and buying simultaneously. Come on. Anyways, let's work, man. The gentleman further writes, it seems good on the surface to get back what we lost from all tax money. Well, it's not coming back to the taxpayer. It's going to go to corporations. However, was this a good move in the long term? It could be, but a good move for whom? For which entities? That's always the problem. Sometimes we say we, but it's not really we. You hear me? Yeah. We say we, or we say America, but what we really mean is Apple Corporation. What we really mean is, Lockheed Martin. It's not coming back to us. So that's what you have to understand. And that's the difference. For example, there are a number of countries that have a sovereign wealth fund, which is to say they have a pot of money that exists for the benefit of the country. And they invest in businesses. They buy land, real estate assets around the world. And they have a portfolio, whether it involves stock, bonds, what have you. And as that grows, the wealth of the country grows. And they might dole a little bit of that out to the citizens. Does America have a sovereign wealth fund? Somebody let me know. Huh? Come on now. Come on, let's talk about it. And listen to me, man. You think that things are going to get better without some people being laid upon this earth and returning their flesh back to the dirt from which they came? I guarantee you things won't get better unless that happens. Huh? The only people who actually protest in this country are the loons. The same people like to stay in their shells and hope that everything gets better. I promise you it won't. Gentleman writes, could this come back to bite us in any way? Well, it's already bitten us because we've already lost billions in tax dollars. And we heard Biden lie. And if you guys really have been tracking over time, you'd be like, Marquett is a political genius. When the Ukraine war first started, Marquett said Russia will win. They will take Ukrainian territory. They will not give it back. And they will come out and Putin will still be in power. It was the complete opposite of what the American government said. Biden said the ruble will be rubble, which is to say that their currency would decline. Their currency is not rubble. They said that they would pull all American industry out of Russia and the Russian economy would be unmanageable, unbearable. Well, all they did was they said, oh, you Pizza Hut, Starbucks, McDonald's, you want to leave? Great. We'll take your infrastructure. We'll rename the brands and we'll carry on, which only made the Russian government and oligarchs stronger. Stupid. Come on. I called all of it from the very beginning. I said, Putin will not be displaced. He will not be assassinated. Russia will not lose. In fact, they will gain territory and people will take them a touch more seriously. Putin's not the monster that you said he was. If he was, like me, I am a monster. You heard me? And I would have absolutely hit Ukraine immediately with a small nuke. Yes, a small nuke somewhere where we could contain it and it wouldn't, poison the earth. That is atop the mineral wealth that we would need to take as Russia as compensation. And when I did that, I would have said, hey guys, by the way, we do have nukes. In fact, more than most of you, and we will use them. NATO will no longer expand unless we all want to die. And I'm ready to die. Just like Notorious B.I.G. You dig? Yeah, I'm about to drop a mixtape. I'm ready to die. Because if you're not going to play the game like that, you can't win the game. Okay? So I tell you, when I went into university, I took a degree in political science. I had one chief question, and I still have this question floating around in my mind to this day. When I heard of Adolf Hitler, who is a unique monster among white supremacists, which is to say those who are evil, I always asked myself, I said, Marquett, I always asked myself, I said, Marquett, how can someone organize so many people to do evil? Then I said, well, where do we see someone organizing so many people to effectively do good? These are not rhetorical questions. These are certainly philosophical questions. These are guiding questions. Then I said to myself, okay, well, if you were to compete with an Adolf Hitler on the side of good, how do you win? And then I knew that you had to be more ruthless. You had to be. If you cannot be more ruthless than an Adolf Hitler, evil shall triumph. So I knew at that point that I had to condition myself to know that, as Otto von Bismarck famously stated, the great questions of our day will not be settled by majority votes and speeches. It will be settled by blood and iron. So the question is, will the good men of the earth be willing to pick up the iron and use it? You must. Come on now. And I'm not saying that Russia is good or that the American government is wholly bad. But what I can assure you of is that Russia today reflects the good values of America yesterday. And a lot of the policies that they enact, I highly respect. Policies around keeping women in the place of females, which is going to maintain a birth rate. The moment you allow women to behave like males, the birth rate starts to decline. We've seen this across the whole planet Earth. Furthermore, we find that they have policies to protect their children from the LGBTQ mafia. They're not producers. They can't have children. They're recruiters. They infest your schools with their ideology. Teach for America is one of the instruments. Liberal policy throughout the United States is one of their instruments. So he created policy to stop that. I respect very much how they're leading the Russian state. Come on now. And he is not a monster, because if he was, he would have done precisely what I said. Blitzkrieg would have been the order of the day against the Ukrainians. But really, if he was a great leader, it wouldn't have come to Ukraine. NATO expanded, gobbled up 13 countries eastward, former Soviet Union countries, in fact, after Minsk 1 and 2. So you knew that the West was going to lie, which is ironic because the West is behaving just like Hitler was behaving when he was annexing certain territories and claiming, oh, we won't take any more territories. We're good now. Well, he lied, and it was going to be endless war until he got what he wanted. That's precisely what NATO has done. They claim to be a defensive organization, and they're clearly offensive. And the Europeans are largely brainless, certainly not what they used to be. And so as a result, the Russians really are the last holdout for morality in the Western world, even though historically the Russians have not been viewed as the West. They are the West. I mean, come on. What are we calling them? Asians? Do they have Asian in them? For sure. Is there Asian influence? For sure. But they really are the last bastion of Western values. If you want to talk about Christianity, which in fact is a white supremacist ideology. And I don't want to hear any of the dumb blacks tell me that, oh, the Ethiopians were the first black Christians. They were the first Christians. They have the oldest church, the oldest Bible. Oh, yeah. Suck my wee-wee. Because I've been to Ethiopia many times and I see who they worship. I see the pictures of the Virgin Mary, who's a white woman. I see the pictures of Jesus, who's a white man. Yes, you can call it what you want, but I'm going to just call it what it is. Okay. So I have no sympathy for any of you. The times are desperate. The measures must be serious. We cannot wait. I can't play games. I don't have time to say it nicely. If you follow Christianity, you are a white supremacist. And if you're white, that's fine. Carry on. If you're not white, that's probably stupid. Okay. I'm not disrespecting anyone's religion. I'm just saying what it is. When you have a white man on the cross and you say he's a component of God, you've racialized God. And whoever is closest to God is probably favored. This is also something that the Jews do. Jewish supremacy. They say that they're superior to everyone else based on their religion. Come on now, let's break it apart. Yeah, this is the same stuff in different clothing, man. Yeah, you don't understand, but you're going to learn today, God damn it. Yeah, the Book of Dark Truth. Somebody post a link for the Book of Dark Truth. If you would like to understand the real world that we actually live in, instead of the BS that you've been fed in your schools or by your parents who don't understand anything more than you do. They're just repeating what they heard. Anyways, the gentleman further writes, is this the first step in ending the war potentially? Does America ever end wars? When has America not been at war? What you would have to do to actually end a war in America would be to change the whole political class. What does it matter? The war never ends, it relocates. Oh, that was brilliant. Someone send that to me. Marquett Devon Burton says, America never ends war, comma, they relocate the war. They never end war. It just relocates. Yes? I hope you understand. America's been at war with Iran for a long time. It has relocated many places. Syria, Yemen. Come on now. Come on. America's been at war with Russia. Relocates many places. Talk to me. Afghanistan. Talk to me. Come on now. Yeah, you guys don't understand. It's complex. That's why I'm here to break it down. America doesn't end wars. They relocate wars. When has America not been at war in the last half century? Someone tell me.